We're joined this evening with Coach Parsons of the men's soccer team at Thomas as they prepare for their NAC Championship game against Husson. Thomas comes in as the 1 seed, and they will host Husson, who's the 2 seed, on Saturday night, 7 p.m. under the lights. Coach, you guys had a pretty good win last night against MMA, defeating them 4-0. Just talk about that game a little bit.
I would say the score of the game doesn't indicate the actual game. I think it was a hard-fought game on both ends, battle. We had 2 early goals, which we were lucky to have scored, but 2/3 of the first half, I felt like we had possession of the ball, playing with energy, and after 2/3 of that, I would say MMA, after we scored our first 2 goals, came at us hard, put us under some pressure. Mikhail made a couple great saves at the end of the first half to keep us in the game, and in the second half, MMA came out with more pressure, and we talked a little bit at halftime about the 3rd goal and the importance of that, whether they scored it or we scored it. Luckily we ended up, Marcus scored a goal, I think in the 73rd minute, and then another one within a minute or 2 after that, so it really put the game out of reach at that point. But it was a good opportunity for our team, obviously in the semifinals, to get a little redemption from last year when we lost to MMA in the quarterfinals, and also get some of our younger guys some experience playing in a playoff game.
Coach Parsons, Joe Craigley here. How do you prepare for the upcoming game, and how do you get your team ready for it?
Well, it was such a short turnaround. We have 2 days of rest before we play, and I think that's probably the most important thing right now. It's just some recovery time. It's a very physical match against Maine Maritime Academy. Lots of guys were hobbling around campus today, so I think some good recovery today. We'll get out on the pitch tomorrow, just to move around a little bit, do some dynamic movements, and to get out there just in the evening, because we will have a night game on Saturday at 7 o'clock. So I think right now probably the most important thing for us is just recovery.
Yeah, Godger here, Coach. With Husson utilizing a strategy of throwing into the box, what kind of preparation goes into defending a unique skill that they use like that?
It's definitely a unique situation where I can't remember ever playing a team where they had somebody that could do, put the ball on a throw-in from 70 yards and into the box. So it's a very tough situation for us, but we've been doing well defending all year and defending on restarts. When we first played Husson, we knew what to expect, and we worked on it in training, and we were able to hold them scoreless in our first game. So it's going to be tough, but the guys are going to have to be focused and concentrate, and hopefully we can score some goals. If we can score some goals early in that game, it gives us just a little bit more room, So hopefully, we'll talk about it tomorrow. We already know what we're going to do. We've worked on it before in the past, so we'll go over it again tomorrow in training very quickly, and I think the guys are prepared.
Coach, with the all-conference accolades coming out, and Thomas, well represented, to say the least. How does that, you want to congratulate the guys and have them feel good about the individual accomplishment, but not have them forget about the ultimate goal and bringing a team championship here?
Right.
How do you?
First, we're really excited just to have our players recognized. Mikhail, Defensive Player of the Year. Josh, Rookie of the Year. Had 3 players placed on first team all-conference, 2 on second team all-conference. I think, they were pretty focused about the game on Saturday. I don't think these things are going to get in the way. But I know the players are humbled by this. I think these things are tough. Maybe we would be happy if this came out after the championship game, so it wasn't a distraction, but I don't believe it'll be a distraction for our players.
Coach, talk a little bit about the last time you guys played them. It was a little over 2 months ago now. So what do you see in your team that has changed and in their team that has changed since that time?
Well, that was our first conference game, and it was very early in the season for both teams. I know both teams have changed since then, and I believe we've gotten better in every game and every training session. We're playing our best soccer right now, and I also feel that it's really the two teams are so different. I believe that Husson is very big. Strong, very good on restarts. They scored most of their goals this season off of restarts. I think we are a team that has scored many of our goals through the run of play. As the season's moved on, we've felt more comfortable with each other as a group, and the players have had a good balance of possession and also being direct when we need to be. So, I look forward to Saturday. I think it's going to be a good battle. You couldn't ask for two better teams in the championship match, number 1 and number 2 seed.
Coach, common topic here now is the injury bug. It was nice to see Michael back on the pitch, but wasn't as effective as we'd like to see him. But just talk about the injuries. We had Mikhail going down, taken out of the game. Didn't look too significant. Just touch base on what you guys are going through right now with the injuries.
Well, first of all, at this point in the season, I think most teams are dealing with injuries. So I hope we're not the only team that is dealing with injuries at this point in the year. But obviously, yesterday was a tough game. It was very physical. We had a lot of guys that got beat up in that game. So today it was a big day as far as in the training room getting treatment, taking care of our injuries. I don't think there was anything serious, that will hold anybody out for Saturday. Excuse me, but I'm not sure. But it was nice to have Michael back yesterday. Michael Hand, even at 70%, is still a very dangerous player, and I think we saw that last night. As he lacked maybe a little of the explosiveness that he had early in the season, but still had 2 assists in the game. So, very effective. So, I talked to him today, felt pretty good. So we will see. We'll see how it feels tomorrow in training, and then I'm very hopeful that Michael will play on Saturday.
Now, Coach, as you said, with this game featuring you guys being the top seed and Husson the 2, and also with that in mind, you guys being the last 2 conference champions from the NAC. Just talk about what kind of buzz that brings to the game, as fans will probably be pretty riled up to watch this and cheer on the team.
Yeah. Well, having with our new fields and the facilities and having the ability to play the game in the evening under the lights, it's going to be very exciting. Hopefully we get a good fan base out for the game. I know Husson will probably have a big group of fans coming down from Bangor. It's such a short trip. But it's a big game. We want to win. We don't want Husson to be back-to-back champions. And if we do win, then that means we have been North Atlantic Conference champions 2 out of 3 years. But at the same time, we're a very young team. We have no seniors. I believe we're the only team with no seniors this year in our conference. So, we're also looking ahead. This is a building year for us, and we're really excited about the players we have, and hopefully we'll have good retention this year. And, we're already looking at a very good recruiting class coming in for next year. So, it's the thing about this game is it's like no other game. You could possess the entire game. You could have 80% possession and still not win. It's championship atmosphere. That's all we could ask for. Hopefully we have a lot of good fans behind us. Hopefully the guys enjoy themselves. And this will be an opportunity someday, a great memory for them, hopefully. So we're looking forward to it.
Any further questions?
I have one. Paul touched upon in his interview about everybody having their own rituals. Do you yourself have any pregame rituals?
I really don't. I would say maybe I do. I like to be in my office by myself a little bit to think about the game ahead of time. But I also like to be out on the field, and we've had our assistant coaches offer to lay cones down and pennies down before, but that's something I really enjoy doing. It just gives me an opportunity just to settle down and think about the game. So I'd say other than that, no.
Thank you, Coach. No further questions, and hopefully we'll be sitting here in the press room on Saturday night with the NAC Championship in front of you.
Thank you.